guys, it's me, Dana, again, and as promised, I'm here today to talk about Looking for Alaska. Now, I read Looking for Alaska over the summer, and it's taken me a while to get over the emotional trauma that is Looking for Alaska. Also, I was quite busy because I was going off to uni in a few weeks, and then I had a trip to Wales for a week, and then I had uni starting, so I haven't really got around to it. And also, I think it's better to clear your mind of the book before you review it, because you might read a book and be like, oh my god, it's so amazing, and then like a few months later you're like, wasn't as good as I thought it was. And that's how I feel about Looking for Alaska. Just a tad. Not that it was bad, it's just I didn't, my emotions are just like about it. Okay, so I'm going to go over like what I liked about the book and what I didn't like the book, but I'm probably going to go over what I didn't like first. I didn't like the fact that in the book the chapters are labelled as 122 days until. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. It was actually a very good thing to do, but me personally, it made me anxious. And it also I kind of predicted what was going to happen, or one of the scenarios that could happen. Like many scenarios, like, oh, is this going to happen? This going to happen? I should have probably put a spoiler warning in this, because there will be spoilers in this video. So if you watched up to this point, go away. So I was like reading the book, and obviously all these chapters are like counting down to something, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what's going to happen? Oh my god, who's going to die? Someone's going to die. Something bad obviously happens in X amount of days. And it gets worse and worse the closer you get to that point in the book, because there's a sudden jump from like 60 days to 25, and you're not prepared. I was not prepared for that jump. I was on a train. I was in public. I had to compose myself, and I was just like, I can't do this. Oh, it just made me so anxious. And then obviously it got to the day, and you knew shit had gone down, because the previous chapter was the day, or the day before, and then the chapter after was titled the day, or something like that. And you just knew shit had happened. You knew something had gone horribly wrong. Like, basically in the chapter before the thing happens, Alaska runs off a bit, like, goes off drunk and drives in her car, and you know that ain't gonna end well. Especially because it's John Green. Oh. It's like, oh god, she's fucked up. She gonna die. And, and then afterwards it was like so many days from, and then obviously you keep on getting reminded that, oh god, like afterwards it wasn't too bad. But when you realise that you've got like this much of the book to go, and the shit's already happened, you know shit's still got to go down. You know, like, feels are gonna come at you like a speeding car. That's a bad example. So yeah, that's the first thing I don't like about the book. The second thing I didn't like about the book was the way Alaska's mum died. Now, don't get me wrong, people have aneurysms all the time, but the way I remember John Green describing it is actually more dramatic than it actually happens. And fair enough, if you want shock factor, you obviously pump up the dramaticness. But it kind of bugged me. It's bugging me now because I wrote a short story about this woman who has an aneurysm, and my friend read it and she was like, you know, that's not what happens when you have aneurysm, right? And I was like, what? Like, and then obviously I had to Google and use WebMD, to find out what actually happens when you have a brain aneurysm. So I'm kind of mad about that, but I guess that's my own fault for not doing research. And I really can't blame John Green, but I can blame John Green because it's his book and he should have really, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I get you have like a really painful headache, but from what I remember, and I don't have the book on me, is that Alaska's mum was wreathing around in pain for like 10 minutes. Yeah, that's like one thing that really bugged me about the book. But I think that's all I hated about the book, really. See, it's been so long that I really should have done this book review after I've read it, but I didn't because I'm a noob. Things I liked about the book. I quite liked the main character, because he was a guy, and I don't usually read guys. No, that sounds bad. There aren't many books out there that are from a guy point of view. A lot of them are from a girl point of view, if that makes sense. For example, The Hunger Games. Katniss's point of view. Divergent. Triss's point of view. Trying to think. I know Looking for Alaska wasn't a first person point of view book, but it did focus around Miles in a third person. Was it in first person? Hold on, I'm gonna have to check this. Oh, it is written in first person. So yeah, no, you don't usually get books that... I don't usually read first person books, so I much prefer third person books, but that's just a taste. Yeah, you don't like Hazel Grace in Fault in Our Stars. That's another girl. Yeah, I don't usually read first person books, and a lot of them I do read are from a girl point of view. So it was nice to read a guy point of view, and I actually quite liked Miles. Yeah, Miles. I quite liked Miles. I really did like Miles. I was in the post about Chip, or the Colonel, or whatever his name is. And there were a few other characters that I can't really remember now. The one person I didn't like was Alaska. She felt like one of those girls who plays themselves up a bit. Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, being really not over dramatic. I don't want to say over energetic because she wasn't over energetic. She just played up the sort of cool girl attitude, and I don't know. It's hard because I know a lot of people might like her because she's like that kind of cool sort of girl who smokes and shit like that. But I don't know. I think the only reason I don't like her is because if she was a real person, I wouldn't get on with her. Like, I don't think we would be friends. I think, and I don't know. I didn't like her. She was written really well, so that's probably why I don't like her as much. But, I didn't really like her. Like, whoever plays her in the film has to... If they don't give me the aura Alaska does in the book, I'm gonna be upset. However, saying this, I did feel, like, emotionally traumatized when she got in the car and drove off, because I knew she was going to die. Like, I knew she was going to die. Like, and it kind of upset me. Like, her death really bugged me. Not in a bad way, in a good way. Like, it, you know, I think it gave a good message that you shouldn't really drink and drive. And I did feel really sorry for her, because obviously a few chapters before you find out that, you know, she saw her mum die when she was 8, and it would fuck someone up. Not gonna lie, swear word, it would fuck you up. And maybe that's why she became who she was, and why I wouldn't like her, but I did feel sorry for her, because she was obviously troubled, and she obviously had shit going on, and she obviously took that out with smoking and drinking, and I know, not personally, but I know people who've gone down that route. Not died, but might as well have, and completely fucked up their lives because of, you know, shit that's gone down in their past, and they've taken it out on drugs and stuff. And I did feel genuinely sorry for this poor girl who had driven herself right into a truck. And the other thing is that you never, I know this is probably very real life, but you never find out, did she do it on purpose or was she too drunk to stop? And it bugged me that you never knew. And I guess that's the harsh reality of life, that when someone dies of like that, you never really know if they drove into that truck for a reason, or if it was an accident, they were too drunk to see. And they explore it in the book after this has happened, and oh my god, you didn't get answers. You kind of did, but you didn't. And you never, just so many feels are coming back to me now I'm talking about it, just like feels, and I don't know, like, I feel like the way John Green explored what happened after she died was very raw and true, and really quite, you know, sad, really. And obviously it ended on a essay, I think, like in Fault in Our Stars. That's it. That's the only other John Green book I've read thus far, and I think that's one of the reasons I really enjoyed the book, was because it was true, other than the aneurysm thing. It was true to life. Like, I feel like there may have been more problems at the boarding school with bullying and stuff, but I guess that's not what John Green was trying to describe. Like, I felt like the book was very raw and very lifelike, and I think that's why it kind of, like, whew, hit you in the stomach, like, that hurts, doesn't it, bitch? And I have a feel, like, I personally prefer it to Fault in Our Stars in a way, because Fault in Our Stars, I love Fault in Our Stars, don't get me wrong. I love the film, I fucking cried like a baby, but I have a feeling that it wasn't as lifelike and as raw and as true, kinda, as Looking for Alaska. And I'm not saying this because I'm not saying that two kids with cancer can't fall in love, but I'm saying that, I don't know, Looking for Alaska seemed less fictionalised than Fault in Our Stars, in sort of like the events that happened and stuff. And I think that is why people get really bugged about these books. I'm actually going to do a different video on this, because if you don't know, if you haven't been on Tumblr, for example, or just the internet, you probably, you have probably heard that people claim John Green has romanticised mental illness and romanticised cancer, and it's like, no! I feel like he approaches it in such a way that no. But anyway, we're going to move on. So, my overall view of Looking for Alaska is quite positive, but there's also some negatives, but those are just picky, like, Dana things that you will get used to. And I love I love Miles, and I love to hate Alaska, and I hated the fucking chapter things because it made me anxious, and I would say I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Whee! So, I will see you soon. The next video I probably will be doing is a book tag, or alternately, an update on day 1 of NaNoWriMo, because remember that's going on. Sign up, add me on Nano, follow me on Tumblr, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!